Hello class, and welcome to the video Excel Chapter 1 Part D. So this is what you need to watch before you complete hands-on exercise number 4 in Chapter 1 of Excel. So I'm just going to briefly go over some of the things here in the book to help clarify, hopefully. So I want you to kind of follow along with the book in front of you as well. So I'm looking at the header here on the first page, 444. We're going to talk about worksheet formatting, and that's dealing with the styles and design of how the page looks. And so first off, we're going to look at applying cell styles, alignment, and font options. So different areas of your worksheets, often to make things contrast and stick out more to whoever's looking at them, to make them more effective, you want to have different styles. And so there's a lot of things you can change. It might be the title, how it's aligned. It might be the font, what's the size, if it's bold, centered, maybe a certain color. You might have the input look different than the output cells, and you might format them individually. They may be groups, so show groups in it. But a cell style is a collection of format settings to provide a consistent appearance within a worksheet and among similar workbooks. Also, a cell style helps you to control a lot of the following formats. So font, font color, font size, borders, fill color, alignment, and number formatting. And it saves you a lot of time. Instead of doing the same things multiple times over and over and over again, you can just pick one style and it makes it consistent. So to apply cell style to a cell or a range of cells, you complete the following steps. So I'm just going to select some of my cells right here. Just a range of them. And it says here, first, click Cell Styles in the Styles group on the Home tab to display Cell Styles Gallery. So over here, I have my styles. And up here on my Cell Styles, that I can click the More arrow, and all of them pop up. So this is just like the figure in your book. And I can move my mouse over it to preview and choose a specific style. So I'm going to go with Output right here. So they even have some labeled for what you might use it for: explanatory, input, output, warning. All these are very kind of help you guiding on what could work. And I just click on the cell style like I did and applied it. Really easy to do. Now over on page 45, it talks about alignment. Alignment refers to how data are positioned in the boundaries of a cell. So each type of data has a default alignment. Text often aligns to the left cell margin. So the left side. So that's over here in case you don't have your left and right figured out. And dates and values align to the right cell margin. So over here. So date over here on the right, and then text and over here. So dates and values, aka numbers, over here, and then text on the left. And you want to change the alignment of cell contents to improve the appearance of the data too. It'll make it look nicer. The alignment group, you can see in figure 1.41, which is just down below, is in the Home tab and contains several commands. So alignment group is right over here on my screen. So hopefully you can see that on your screen there. Now you may, we're looking a little further down, we're talking about merging and centering labels. Now you may want to place a title at the top of your worksheet, which I would recommend, and center it over columns of data in your worksheet. And you can center main titles over all the columns in the worksheet, and you can center category titles over groups of related columns. And you can also merge cells on adjacent rows. So to merge and center cells, so I'm going to type in Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. And here, that'll be our title. And what I do is I enter the text in the top left of the cell, top left cell of the range, so right here, and I'm going to select my range of cells. That's the next part. So text in there, then select the cells, and then click Merge and Center, and that's over my alignment group right up here, my Merge and Center button. I can click the arrow next to it and choose how I want it to merge, but otherwise I'm going to click Merge and Center, and you see it merges all my cells together that I selected in the range and put my title, which was in this cell, in the whole one right here. You notice it only affects here, it doesn't affect all these other ones. And if I want to get rid of it, I can click on here, it'll go back to what it was. So great tool for you there. Now over on the next page, we just looked at 445. Here it shows the merge options, and you'll be playing with those in the different exercises, so I'm not really going to explain them too much. And if you don't know, just hover over them and it'll show you or actually just click on them and try them, and it'll show you how it looks and what it does there. Alright, now changing a horizontal and vertical cell alignment. That's the header on page 446. A horizontal alignment specifies the position of data between left and right margins. So left and right side here, horizontal. Where a vertical alignment specifies the position of the data between the top and bottom cell margins. So right here, up and down. So I'm going to make this a little bit taller so you can see it. So you can see right now it's aligned to the bottom vertically right now and center. And then for left and right, it's aligned to the center as well there. So horizontals left and right, verticals up and down. And your alignment, you can decide how you want it to align in the text. And so right now it's set to bottom. I could do middle. I could do top. So it just depends on what you want to do. I could do right. I could do left. Now typically for a title, you just want centered completely. Or if you have a lot of information below it, then you'd put it to the bottom. But often you'll have it centered. Now it talks about here in the next header, wrap text. Wrap text. Now using wrap text, it makes data appear on multiple lines by adjusting the row height to fit the cell contents within the column width. So Excel wraps the text on 2 or more lines within the cell. So in figure 141, the markup rate and percent off labels on row 4s are examples of wrap text. So let's look over there on that page. And it said here the 2 groups that are examples of it are markup rate and percent off. So and you can see that it wraps the text there, so it is properly labeled and centered there as well. So basically, instead of it spreading out, it stacks on top of each other. It's really good. Now to wrap text within a cell, so I'm going to do that right now. Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. Let's put down here Bill Badger brought the bear. That's part of a tongue twister. And then it says click the cells or select the range of cells that contain labels that need to be wrapped. So right here, I have this one. I'm going to select those. And then I must click on wrap text in the alignment group. And wrap text is right here. And you notice instead of stretching it out, it just stacks it for me right here. And I could choose how it's aligned here in this cell to make it look a little bit nicer for it. There we go. So wrap text is nice too for presenting it. All right, now step 3, that's a header, third header on the page. It says increase and decrease indent. Cell content is left aligned or right aligned based upon default data type. So we said text is to the left, data and values is to the right. And so, however, you can indent the cell contents to offset the data from its current alignment. For example, the text is left aligned, but you can indent it to offset from the left side. Indenting helps others see a hierarchical structure of data. So basically, if something's a main point, if it's a sub point, if it's a sub point, it helps you show an outline, so to speak, in order to it. Now to increase or decrease the indent of data in a cell, so I'm going to unwrap that text. The way to do that is you click the cell that contains the data, so right here, and then it says click the increase indent or decrease indent in the alignment group. And you can see it right here, decrease indent or increase. And when I click increase, it moves it over. Decrease, it moves it back. So decrease is basically left, increase is basically right. Now looking at step number 4, apply borders and fill color. You can apply a border or fill color to accentuate data in a worksheet. A border is a line that surrounds a cell or a range of cells. And I'm looking at page 447, by the way, under apply borders and fill color, where a fill color is a background color that displays behind the data in a cell so that the data stands out. So we're going to look at how to do those. So to apply a fill color, complete the following steps. Select the cell or range you want to have a fill color. So I'm going to choose Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. So I select it. Then click the fill color arrow on the home tab to display the color palette. And my fill color is this paint bucket over here. So in Word, that's the highlighter button. But in Excel, it's called the fill color. So I'm going to click the arrow. And then I see my color palette. And now select the color choice from the fill color palette. So I'm going to choose something that contrasts well. So I want something lighter because my text is dark. So I'm going to go with light blue right over here. I click on it, and that's fill color. So it works kind of like a highlighter. And then for additional border and fill color options, complete the following steps. Click the dialog box launcher in the font group. So here's my font group, and here's my dialog box launcher. And then it says, click the border tab right here to select border tab to select border options, including borderline and style and color. And here, I can choose the fill color over here I can choose the color of the border here, but I could choose fill color as well from this tab, give me more options. But I'll add the border here. I'll choose this one, and I'm going to apply it to all of the sides. And I click OK. And you can see now, not only does it have the color, it also has a border too, which makes it stand out. From the Bill Badger Brought the Bear, the first part of that tongue twister. Now looking at the bottom of the page, we see applying number format. So we're still on page 447, about to switch to the next page. Number formats are settings that control how value, a number, is displayed in a cell. So it just depends on what the value is for. Maybe it's for accounting, maybe it's currency, maybe it's a date, maybe it's something else. And I can apply a number format. So looking at page 448, I'm going to just quickly go through some of these number formats. There's general. As a number, it's as it's entered. So you type in a number, and I press enter. It stays as general because it just shows up as how it is. You can do a number with or without. So this will add a comma in if you want, or decimal places, anything like that. Currency, you do accounting, number format, comma style, date, time, percent style, fraction, scientific text, special, custom, all these different kinds. So you're going to be playing around with these in your exercises, so I'm not going to cover them too much here, but just to mention them. So all of those are there. Now we can choose to increase and decrease decimal places. And the way I do that is I select the cell or arrange the cells that I need to have fewer or more decimal places. And then I click increase decimal in the number group on the home tab to display more, or I can choose decrease. And that's on the home tab. And it's actually over here in the number group. And if I want to increase the decimal and show more decimal places, I click this one. And so you can see I keep adding zeros. If I want to decrease it, I click over here and it gets rid of my zeros. So all this very good information. And that is the end of Chapter 1, Part D, information for your textbook. So now what you need to do is move on to exercise, hands-on exercise number 4 in your textbook. So that's page 450. This is for Excel chapter number 1. Good job following along with this video, so that way hopefully you understand. Get started with that exercise if you have time.